Hey everybody, this is Coach Allison and back with your Defy Aging workout for week 7. This week is going to look a little bit different. It is a circuit, so it is rotating around, which is pretty standard, but there are only 4 stations. So our clubs that have maybe larger attended sessions, like up to 12 people, you'll have to have, 2-3 people at each station, which should work out just fine with the movements that we have for the week. So, like I said, should work out fine. There are 4 rounds. And also, since there's only 4 stations, the interval sets are on the longer side. They're going to reduce as we go. Round 1, I kind of forget, I have it behind me, is 60 seconds on, 45 seconds off. Round 2 is 50 seconds on, 40 seconds off. Round 3 is 40 seconds on, 35 seconds off. And round 4 is 30-30. That ends up matching for round 4. I know that was confusing. It'll all be written on the board. Basically, every round, the work reduces by 10 seconds and the rest reduces by 5 seconds. Okay, so again, only 4 stations, so it's not going to be a very long demo. Team builder at the end, of course. Let's review what our exercises are. Alrighty, station 1 is a half kneel wood chop. So this is going to be a lot of stability because of that half kneel position and the movement itself, and some shoulders and core involved. You can use a medicine ball. The smaller ones might be better, but you can use the slam balls too, or a kettlebell. You can do this with a dumbbell, but I don't actually recommend it because when you're holding it on the ends, you can turn and tilt it like this, and that tends to make, for some people, the movement get the arms go in the wrong direction. So I would recommend kettlebell or medicine ball. We're in this half kneel position. Make sure there's 90-degree bend in both knees. So watch out for this front foot not being too far back like this. Also, you want your normal hip gait. So we don't want to have this leg stepped out to the side. So normal hip gait, like if you look at me from the front, this is about how wide I would stand. My feet would normally be here. So I hope that made sense. If you're doing a kettlebell, it's going to be bottoms up like this. If you're holding a ball, just hold on the outsides of the, obviously. The wood chop movement is this diagonal, rotational, diagonal movement. So we start down in this open space here, but we're not leaning down. So please don't do this. And then let your gaze follow the item, follow your hands, and we go up and back. Very similar to, I think, our warm-up back in December, actually. But anyways, so like this, slow and steady. We're not going fast. We're not whipping anything around. Go as far back as you can. If you're holding a kettlebell, it's a little different. It'll start bottoms up, but when you bring your arms down, look at how the kettlebell kind of just don't overthink it. Don't move the wrists like this. Just hold the kettlebell. And we go up and back. Control it down. Up and back. Okay. I hope that made sense. What I want to look out for, again, I'll show you from the side so you can see my upper body. We're looking out for not leaning forward when we come down. Okay, so keep your body up tall. Also, when we rotate around, we're not bending the elbows like this. So it's not like you're shoveling something over your shoulder. The arms stay straight. See, my arms are straight right now? That's very important. Okay. So I don't want to worry about switching sides halfway through. It's really cumbersome. You have to put your item down. You have to switch your legs. You have to pick the item back up, and that might lose 5 to 10 seconds of the set. Since we have 4 rounds, we'll do 1 round on each side. I know they're timed a little different, so it won't be the exact same amount of seconds on each side, and I think that's okay. So half kneel wood chop. If anyone is unable to get to the floor for kneeling, turn that half kneel into a staggered stance like this, and we can do the same thing with a staggered stance. Make sure both legs have a soft bend in the knee for balance. And that is, speaking of balance, that is a lot of balance if we are doing the standing version and the balance is a little too unsteady with all of that movement. Feel free to stand with a normal stance and we can still do that rotational movement, working the shoulders, working the core. So there are quite a few options here. That was a long demo. Let's get to station 2. Station 2 is a side-to-side box run. Now this one, we will need some equipment, but I think at all the clubs we have enough steppers to accommodate up to 3 people at the station. So you can stack up the smaller ones to make them about this high. Anyway, I think that'll work out just fine. Now, it's a variation of our usual lateral box run is the down, up, up, down, down, like this. We do that a lot. This one will be a little different. It's a side-to-side box run. So we're going to fully step to each side. Here's what I mean. Starting on one side, up, up, down, down. So it's a little different way of doing the up, up, down, down. On it, in the middle, off to the side, up to the middle, off to the side. Okay, so the key with this one is you have to step pretty wide. So if I step too narrow here, I'm not giving my other foot enough space. Okay, so you have to step wide to accommodate that. You also have to do that same concept. You have to step wide when you come down, because if I step too narrow here, I'm not leaving room for my other foot to come down. So this is all wide, very wide steps. Once you get the pattern down, you can add some speed if you want to turn it into a run. That's the more advanced way to do it. You can definitely turn it into kind of a run hop. If you get the pattern down and you feel comfortable with that speed, that'll turn it into more cardio. But either way, that's station 2, side to side box run. Station 3, we're going to work some back muscles. We have our 2-point row. We do this one quite a bit. Haven't done it for a few weeks, however. Now, I do want to encourage everyone to go pretty heavy on this. Heavy is different for everybody, but heavy for you because we are working our bigger muscle areas. We're working our back, and the way we engage the back muscles to pull that weight up, it's not an arm exercise. So I know a lot of people say, oh, my arms are so weak, so I can't go heavy on this. All your arm is in this situation is the lever, the mover. And yes, you have to hold on to the weight, but other than that, the muscles doing the work should be mostly back here. Back is very strong. So pick something, pick something on the challenging side. Now, we also want to make sure our body's in the right position. For the 2-point row, we support ourselves on our own front leg here. And this weight just starts dead weight hanging down. I want you to make sure your upper body is leaned forward to a good level. No higher than 45 degrees, so about like this. If we come up higher than this, what this is doing is now turning it into a shoulder exercise, which is called an upright row. And it's honestly, everyone's shoulders are a little different, but for many of us, that movement, the upright row, can create some shoulder issues. So we don't want to do it like this. We need to be down. Now, when we pull back in this position, that's what turns it into a back exercise, and we're targeting the right muscles. So make sure your upper body is pretty low, and it's like pulling that lawnmower cord up and slightly back. Get this little bit of a twist here. See how I'm turning my chest a little bit this way? As I pull up, I'm not shrugging, so I'm not going like this. I'm pulling it down here towards my hip, not towards my armpit. So I'm pulling it up and back towards my hip bone, not up here towards my armpit. That one is so quick and easy to switch sides that we can definitely switch sides at the halfway mark on that one. Plus, if we're going nice and heavy, doing that for the full like 60 or 50 seconds on one side can be kind of a long time. So we will switch sides halfway through for that one. Pick a challenging weight, and let's get some back work this week. Final station, reverse lunges. Okay. The only change from this compared to normally when we have reverse lunges, since the back row people are already changing sides halfway through, so we're already going to have to be calling out that halfway mark. I think we're going to do the same thing with the legs. So just for variety's sake this week, let's do our reverse lunge, continual on one side. See how my right leg is continuing to go back? And then at the halfway mark, when we're already calling out halfway for our back row station, then we can switch legs and begin to do on the other side. Is there really a big difference between that versus just continually alternating right, left? No, not really. A little more like repetition on one side, but in the end, there's not really a difference, but it's just variety, okay? So it's for variety's sake. So couple keys on the lunges, big step back. We need that big step back. If it's too narrow, this is not a lunge form. The knees are kind of cramped up, too much pressure on the knees. So big step back, bend both knees and go as low as you're comfortable. I was able to tap the floor there, but that's pretty low. You don't have to get that low. It might look like this, but it is important that you're bending the back knee. Because what I see a lot is kind of this, stepping the leg back, but keeping it straight. That's not a lunge. That's actually kind of a stretch, like people who might stretch like this. So we need to bend both knees. You might want to do this in front of a mirror to kind of see that back leg and what's happening with it. You can support yourself on your front leg a little, like that, like I'm doing here, but we don't want it to be excessive. We don't want to fold at the hips and lay the chest on the leg here. So a little support with the hand, fine if you need it. And let's see. Oh yeah, keep that, kind of just said it. Keep that chest up and that back up like this. Okay, we aren't allowing ourselves to come forward like this. Very important. All right. If the lunges are kind of knee intensive, if your knees are fine and good to go and healthy and no issues, they should be fine. But if you already have a pre-existing knee pain or condition, you might feel the knees on that one. So if that is the case, we'll change it to step ups. I think that's a good alternative. I'll just move the box over. Even if we're using these boxes for the side-to-side lateral box run, we have other types of steps you can use at the gym. I'm sure there'll be plenty. Oh, but to keep the consistency on that same side, how the people are doing with the lunges, we'll do them like this, where you keep one leg on there. See how I'm just keeping my left leg on here. At the halfway point, we will switch sides. Okay, so if anyone has any knee issues with those lunges, feel free to use the box. If there are any balance issues with the lunges, feel free to move near a wall or rack and place your hand on something for a little balance assistance, and let's work those legs. All right, so our team builder this week, we're going to keep the same theme going as we did last week with the plank off. Now we're doing a wall sit challenge. So it'll be the same concept where everyone's going to start their wall sit at the same time. We're going to see how long people can hold it, see who holds it out the longest. If you repeat the workout throughout the week, you can kind of compete with yourself to hold it longer and longer. But a really quick review on wall sits. We do them quite a bit, so I'm sure many of you are familiar. We lean into the wall, step the feet out a good distance, and you might even have to step the feet out more as you come down. If I leave my feet where they are now and I come down, can you kind of see how my ankles are a little bit underneath my knees, behind my knees, when really we want those feet and ankles directly under the knees. We don't want them back. So I hope that made sense. So if you're here and you're starting to bend down, you might have to step the feet out a little as you sit down more and more. Get as low as you are comfortable. The lower you go, the harder it is. Press your back into the wall the whole time. You can rest your hands here, but we're not like bracing like this, because right now this is taking off a lot of the work on my legs. So no bracing if your hands are resting on your legs, and no leaning forward too. Again, that back is always against the wall. Okay, we'll see who can hold that the longest. It's kind of like a plank for your legs, really. So it's muscular endurance of our leg muscles. Good luck, have fun, and see how long you can hold that out. All right, so that wraps up week 7. A little bit different with the long sets and only the 4 stations. Hope you enjoy this variety. See you back in week 8.